Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. You don't wake up one day and find yourself extraordinary. No, you wake up and you become extraordinary inch by inch, thought by thought, decision by decision. Let me tell you something about life. You're either in the process of becoming more valuable or a little less. You're either sowing the seeds of greatness or you're sleeping through the season. And here's the truth that shakes people. No one improves by accident. If you don't drift into excellence, you discipline your way into it. The mind is like a garden. If you don't plant flowers, weeds will come. The soul is like a fire. If you don't fuel it, it dies out. So, ask yourself today, what did I do yesterday that made me stronger? And what will I do today to grow beyond it? Because if you're not improving yourself every day, the world will leave you behind. Now, let me give you something practical, something you can take home, write down, and go to work on. If you're serious about changing your life, then you've got to get serious about what you do daily. Success is not one giant leap. It's 10 little steps, repeated, refined, and improved. So today I want to give you 10 things you must improve every single day. Not once in a while, not when it's convenient, every day. Because if you work on these 10, life will start working on you. Let's begin. The first thing you must improve every day is your personal discipline. You see, the secret to achieving anything meaningful in life starts with discipline. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. I've often said that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without discipline, your goals are nothing more than dreams, ideas, or fantasies. Discipline is the action that transforms those dreams into reality. You want to build wealth, don't you? Well, wealth doesn't come from mere wishing, hoping, or hoping for luck to come your way. Wealth comes from the daily actions you take, often small, consistent actions rooted in discipline. You see, it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to chase after the shiny objects, the immediate rewards, and the fleeting pleasures. But what makes you different, what sets you apart, is the ability to focus on what matters and take action on it day in and day out, regardless of the circumstances. Let me tell you about something I've learned from observing. The wealthy and successful, they have mastered the art of self-discipline. Whether it's showing up every day at the same time to work, reading, learning, or practicing the skills that push them forward, they have one thing in common. They don't give in to the temptations that pull most people off course. Think about the story of the great businessman who started with nothing but his determination and a clear vision of where he was going. He didn't get distracted by the parties or the latest trends. No, he got up early, worked late, and kept his eyes on the prize. The wealthy aren't the ones who are looking for shortcuts. They're the ones who are willing to do the work day after day, the discipline to delay gratification, to put off temporary pleasures for long-term gains, is the bedrock of financial success. Now, here's the kicker. Discipline isn't always about doing what's easy. It's about doing what's necessary, even when it's hard. A disciplined person understands that doing the work day after day is what pays off in the long run. It's the difference between being a spectator in life, watching other people succeed, and being a player, taking consistent action to ensure your success. I remember when I first started, I wasn't successful, I wasn't wealthy, but I was hungry and I had discipline. I remember working long hours, studying, learning, and making decisions based on what would get me ahead, not what felt good in the moment. I knew that success didn't happen overnight, and I knew I had to build a foundation. The hardest part was pushing through the times when I wanted to quit, when the road seemed too long, but I had something stronger than my temporary feelings: discipline. Every day I focused on doing the small things that would get me closer to my goals. The book I needed to read, the class I needed to take, the habit I needed to form. And guess what? It all started to pay off. The discipline you build in your personal life, whether it's managing your time, your finances, or your relationships, is the same discipline that will reflect in your financial life. Think of it this way. If you can't discipline yourself to save money, how can you expect to build wealth? If you can't discipline yourself to stick to a budget, how can you expect to grow your investments? If you can't keep yourself from spending on unnecessary things, How can you possibly be expected to accumulate assets? And let's be honest, it's tough sometimes. The world is full of distractions. It's easier to follow the crowd than to march to the beat of your own drum. The path to wealth isn't the path of least resistance. But if you want something different than what most people have, you have to be willing to do things differently. You can't expect to build wealth if you're always jumping from one trend to the next, one idea to the next, without staying focused on what truly matters. Personal discipline is staying committed to the process, even when it's tough, even when you feel like giving up. Think about it. We all know the feeling of wanting to make that quick, impulsive purchase. Whether it's the new gadget or the fancy car, it feels good in the moment, doesn't it? But I'm here to tell you that long-term, wealth doesn't come from the fleeting satisfaction of those momentary pleasures. It comes from doing the uncomfortable things consistently. It comes from delaying gratification today for a better tomorrow. The disciplined person doesn't fall prey to those fleeting temptations. They understand that true wealth is built on the ability to resist what's easy, even when no one else is watching. Let me give you a practical example of how discipline works in building wealth. Imagine you start saving just 10% of your income every month. At first, it seems like such a small amount. It doesn't feel like much when you do it. But after a year, that discipline starts to compound. Then, after 5 years, your savings are growing and your financial situation is looking stronger. And after 10 years, you've built an incredible financial foundation that allows you to take risks, make investments, and pursue opportunities you would never have been able to afford before. But it all started with one small decision, the decision to discipline yourself every day to do what's necessary for your future. Now let's talk about the second part of this. It's not just about saving, it's about investing. Every day you must improve your ability to make smart, disciplined decisions when it comes to your money. Invest in your future, learn, study, and make informed decisions. Building wealth isn't just about saving, it's about making your money work for you, and that takes discipline. You see, when most people think about money, they think about what they can spend today. But the wealthy think about what they can invest for tomorrow. They invest in their education, their skills, their businesses, and their networks. And here's the kicker. They're disciplined enough to keep investing even when they don't see immediate results. They understand that building wealth is a long-term game, and discipline is the key to winning it. Every day, you need to focus on making your money work for you. Whether it's through real estate, the stock market, or even building your own business, you need to have the discipline to invest in your future. That's how you begin to build the kind of wealth that lasts. So ask yourself, what small disciplined action can you take today to improve your financial future? What's the next step you can take, no matter how small, to build the wealth you've always wanted? Remember, it's not about making huge leaps. It's about the small, disciplined steps you take every day. Keep at it, stay focused, stay disciplined, and in time, you'll see the results. Number 2, improve your self-talk. The way you speak to yourself is the foundation of your success. If you want to improve your life, it starts with the way you talk to yourself every single day. You see, most people never realize this, but their own thoughts are their biggest roadblock. Your mind is a powerful tool, but it's also a dangerous one when left unchecked. The words you speak to yourself today are the blueprint for your future. The way you talk to yourself determines the kind of life you will lead. If you're constantly telling yourself, I can't, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, you're setting yourself up for failure before you even start. If you continue to tell yourself these negative things, your mind will start to believe them, and eventually you'll make them your reality. Your future listens to your words, and your actions follow those words. Take a moment to consider how you talk to yourself. Do you encourage yourself when you face challenges, or do you talk yourself down and give up before even trying? The people who succeed aren't the ones who never fail, but they're the ones who have learned to speak to themselves with encouragement, with strength, and with resolve. They've trained their minds to view every obstacle as an opportunity, every setback as a lesson. They've replaced, I can't with how can I? They've replaced, this is too hard with I will find a way. And you can do the same. Your inner dialogue must be the voice of someone who is moving forward, not someone who is standing still, afraid of taking that first step. I remember a time in my life when I faced difficulties, when I didn't know if I could go any further. But instead of telling myself that it was too much or that I wasn't good enough, I began to change the conversation inside my mind. I started asking myself better questions. How can I get through this? What can I learn from this situation? What's the next step? You see, it's not about having all the answers immediately. It's about asking the right questions, the kind that keep you moving forward. And it's that shift in your self-talk and the questions you ask yourself that makes all the difference. One powerful way to improve your self-talk is to consciously replace negative, limiting thoughts with positive, empowering ones. When you find yourself thinking, I can't, stop immediately and ask, how can I? This simple change in wording shifts your perspective from limitation to possibility. It opens the door for solutions to appear. When you say, I can't, you close the door. When you say, how can I, you open the door to creativity and resourcefulness. Your mind will start to look for solutions instead of reasons why something can't be done. Consider the words, I can't afford it. When you say those words, what happens? Your mind shuts off. You stop looking for ways to create the resources to make it happen. You stop searching for opportunities. But when you change your language to, how can I afford it? Or how can I make this work? Your mind shifts into problem-solving mode. It opens up the possibilities, and suddenly you start to see opportunities that were always there, but you couldn't see because your mind was focused on the wrong thing. This isn't just about money. This is about everything. It's about the way you approach your challenges, your goals, and your life. How do you see your future? Do you speak about it with confidence, with excitement, with the belief that you can achieve whatever you set your mind to? Or do you speak about it with doubt and fear? Your future listens to your words. It's like planting seeds in a garden. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, you can expect to harvest more of the same. But if you plant seeds of positivity, possibility, and belief, you'll watch your future bloom with growth and success. One practical example I can share comes from the time I decided to take my business to the next level. I knew I had to change the way I thought about success, but most importantly, I had to change the way I thought about myself. I had to stop doubting myself. Every time I had a moment of doubt, I'd immediately stop and replace it with something positive. It wasn't about pretending there weren't challenges. It was about acknowledging those challenges and deciding that I was going to overcome them, no matter what. I started affirming to myself, I can figure this out. I am capable. I will find a way. That's how I turned my life around. It wasn't magic. It was the power of changing my inner dialogue and believing that I could do it. This is why you must improve your self-talk every single day. It's not a one-time thing. You have to train your mind to speak positively and proactively. And it takes practice. It takes consistency. It's easy to fall back into old habits and negative patterns of thought, especially when life gets tough. But that's when you need positive self-talk the most. The way you talk to yourself when things are hard determines whether you'll keep going or give up. Think of it like this. Imagine you're a coach on a team. Your team is struggling, they're facing tough opponents, and things aren't going well. As the coach, you have two options. You can tell your team, you're never going to win this game. The other team is too strong, and we don't have what it takes. Or you can tell your team, yes, they're tough, but we've got what it takes. We've faced challenges before, and we've overcome them. Let's go out there and show them what we're made of. Your words as the coach have the power to lift your team up or bring them down. The same is true for yourself. You are the coach of your own life. Are you telling yourself down, or are you lifting yourself up? By improving your self-talk every day, you change the game for yourself. You shift your focus from problems to solutions, from limitations to opportunities. The most successful people in the world have learned this secret. Success begins with the way you talk to yourself. If you want to change your life, change the conversation inside your head. Replace I can't with how can I? And watch how your mindset and your life begin to shift in ways you never thought possible. Your future is listening. Make sure you're speaking words that will build it, not break it. The person who speaks with confidence and purpose is the person who makes things happen. So today, begin the practice of positive, empowering self-talk. It's the first step in transforming your life, and it will make all the difference. Number 3, improve your use of time. Time is the one resource you cannot get back. It's a constant in your life, ticking away with every passing second. And the truth is, you can always make more money, but you'll never get back lost time. Every day you wake up, you are given a blank slate of 24 hours, and how you choose to spend those hours will determine the life you lead. This is the reality. Either you run the day or the day runs you. And trust me, if you don't take control of your time, distractions will take over, and you'll find yourself spinning in circles, accomplishing nothing meaningful. We all have the same 24 hours, but why is it that some people accomplish so much more than others? It comes down to how you manage your time. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have a plan for your day, if you don't make your time a priority, you'll never reach your full potential. Successful people understand that time is more precious than money. They know that every hour spent is an hour they can never get back. And they know that if they don't take control of their time will take control of them. I learned this lesson early in my life, and I can't emphasize it enough. If you fail to plan your day, distractions will creep in. There will always be things pulling at your attention, the phone, social media, emails, and people wanting your time. It's easy to get distracted, and before you know it, the day has slipped away, and you've done very little toward your goals. That's why planning your day is non-negotiable. You need to schedule your priorities, not your distractions. If you don't prioritize your time, someone else will prioritize it for you, and it won't be for your benefit. Think about this. When was the last time you spent an entire day without being interrupted, without being distracted, and truly focused on your top priorities? It's hard, isn't it? The world is full of distractions, and they will steal your time if you let them. But if you start each day with intention, if you schedule your time based on your priorities, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about taking control of your time instead of letting time control you. One of the most effective ways to take control of your time is to have a daily plan. This doesn't have to be a complex, detailed schedule down to the minute, but it does need to include your most important tasks. The things that matter most in your life should be at the top of your to-do list, not pushed aside for trivial matters. I've always believed that if you're not clear on your goals and your priorities, the world will fill your time with things that don't matter. And that's how you end up years down the road wondering where all your time went and why you haven't made the progress you wanted. Start each day by deciding what your most important tasks are. Make them your top priorities. Block out time for them in your schedule and do them first. This is how you ensure that what truly matters gets done, no matter what distractions come your way. The simple act of deciding ahead of time what's important and scheduling it is one of the most powerful things you can do to take control of your time. I've also found that the key to managing time effectively is learning to say no. There's a common misconception that you need to say yes to every opportunity, every request, every invitation, but the truth is saying yes to everything means you're saying no to the things that matter most. Successful people know that time is limited and they're selective about how they spend it. You don't have to attend every meeting, answer every phone call, or read every email. Your time is valuable and you must protect it from being wasted on things that don't align with your goals. Here's a simple truth. If you don't have control over your time, you'll find yourself reacting to everything around you. You'll constantly be putting out fires, dealing with crises, and handling emergencies. But if you take control of your time, you're proactive, you're in charge of your schedule, and you're making progress toward your goals every single day. The difference between these two approaches is the difference between a life of frustration and a life of accomplishment. There's an old saying that goes, time is money, and while that's true in some ways, it's not entirely accurate. Time is far more valuable than money. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Once today is gone, it's gone forever. The clock never stops ticking. That's why you must treat time with the utmost respect. Every day is a gift, and how you use that gift will shape your life. The most successful people in the world understand this. They treat their time like the precious resource it is. They guard it fiercely. They protect it from distractions, from people who want to waste it, and from the noise that pulls them away from what truly matters. I know from my own experience that once you start taking control of your time, you'll feel more empowered. You'll start seeing opportunities you never noticed before. You'll begin to feel more productive, more focused, and more in control of your life. You'll accomplish more in a day than you ever thought possible simply because you took the time to plan and prioritize. Time is your most valuable resource, and how you use it will determine the quality of your life. So don't let the day run you. Take charge of your time, plan your day, guard your hours, schedule your priorities, and let go of the distractions. If you want to live a life of purpose and success, this is one of the most important habits you can develop. The more disciplined you become with your time, the more successful you will be. Make time work for you, not against you. And remember, every day is an opportunity to take one more step toward your goals. Use it wisely. Number 4, improve your health habits. The body is the only place you have to live, and yet we often take it for granted. We go through life neglecting the most important vessel we have, chasing success, wealth, and achievements, only to find that without good health, none of those things mean much at all. Your body is your vehicle, and if you don't take care of it, you won't get very far on your journey. When you're physically weak, mentally drained, and emotionally exhausted, success will feel like a distant dream. Without health, you simply can't enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's why you must make health a priority, not just something you think about when it's too late. Imagine trying to run a marathon with no preparation, no energy, no stamina. How far do you think you'll get? The same principle applies to life. Success requires stamina, and stamina starts with self-care. If you want to achieve great things, if you want to rise to the top in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, you need to have the energy to sustain it. You need to be healthy. And this doesn't mean waiting until you're sick or worn out to start taking action. It means taking responsibility for your health today, because today is when your health starts to shape your future. When I was younger, I didn't always make the best health choices. I would work late, eat whatever was convenient, and push through fatigue. But over time, I realized that the most successful people I admired weren't just hard workers. They took care of their health. They understood that their energy was their most valuable asset, and without it, all the hard work in the world wouldn't matter. So I made a commitment to myself that I would take care of my body. I started to exercise regularly, eat better, and make sleep a priority. And that's when I started to notice a real difference, not just in how I looked, but in how I felt and how I performed in everything I did. Improving your health habits isn't about following the latest fitness trend or trying a new diet every other week. It's about consistently taking small, daily actions that nourish your body and build your stamina. It starts with simple things: moving your body every day, hydrating properly, eating clean, and getting enough rest. These are the building blocks of health, and without them, you won't have the energy or focus to do your best work. When you're physically tired and sluggish, everything else suffers. But when you feel energized and strong, you're ready to take on the world. Let's start with movement. Your body was designed to move. It's not meant to sit idle for hours on end. I'm not talking about spending hours at the gym, although that can certainly help, but I'm talking about finding ways to move your body every day. Whether it's a walk in the morning, a quick jog, stretching, or some yoga, movement gets your blood flowing and your energy up. It's about creating a habit of movement that keeps you energized throughout the day. When you make movement a priority, you're giving your body the fuel it needs to perform at its best. Next, let's talk about hydration. Water is life. You've probably heard that before, but it's true. Our bodies are made up of about 60% water, and staying hydrated is crucial for maintaining energy, focus, and mental clarity. The next time you're feeling tired or sluggish, ask yourself, have I had enough water today? Often, fatigue is simply a sign of dehydration, so drink more water. It's a simple habit that can make a huge difference in how you feel and how you perform. Eating clean is another key component of improving your health habits. I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but if you're fueling your body with processed foods, sugar, and junk, you're setting yourself up for failure. Clean eating doesn't have to be complicated. It's about choosing whole foods, fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. The cleaner you eat, the more energy you'll have and the more focused you'll be. When you eat for fuel, not just for pleasure, you'll notice a significant shift in how you feel. You'll find that your mind is sharper, your body is stronger, and your mood is more stable. The food you eat is the fuel that powers your body, so choose wisely. And then there's sleep. I know it's tempting to burn the candle at both ends, but without proper rest, your body won't function at its best. Sleep is when your body recovers, regenerates, and restores itself. Without it, your energy will crash, your focus will suffer, and your productivity will plummet. If you want to perform at your highest level, you need to prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. When you're well rested, you'll be able to tackle your day with more energy, clarity, and confidence. But beyond these physical habits, taking care of your health also means taking care of your mental and emotional well-being. Stress, anxiety, and negative thoughts can drain your energy just as much as physical exhaustion. That's why mental self-care is just as important as physical self-care. Take time each day to meditate, practice mindfulness, or simply breathe deeply and relax. This mental clarity will give you the focus and resilience you need to stay on course no matter what challenges come your way. Health is not something you can ignore and expect to thrive. If you want to be successful, if you want to have the energy to chase your dreams, you must take care of your body. Your health is the foundation of everything else in your life. Without it, you can't enjoy the success you're working so hard for. So take care of your body, move it, hydrate it, feed it clean, whole foods, and let it rest. This is not a luxury, it's a necessity. When you take care of your health, you're not just investing in your body, you're investing in your future. You're setting yourself up for success in every area of your life. Take care of your body today, and your body will take care of you tomorrow. Number 5, improve your attitude. There's a powerful truth that we often overlook. It's not what happens to you that defines your life, it's how you respond to what happens. Life will throw its fair share of challenges your way, that much is certain. But the real question is, how will you react? Will you let those challenges dictate your mood, your outlook, and your future, or will you rise above them, transforming each setback into a stepping stone toward your success? Your attitude is the lens through which you see the world, and it shapes everything, from your daily interactions to the way you approach your goals. Let me tell you something. Life is a series of events, both good and bad, but the key to mastering it isn't in trying to avoid hardship or manipulate circumstances in your favor. The key is in your attitude. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. The world isn't shaped by the events that happen to you. It's shaped by your reaction to those events. And your attitude is what determines that reaction. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you faced a difficult situation and allowed it to derail your entire day or even your week? It's easy to let negative events dictate how we feel, but the truth is we have the power to decide whether we'll let something bring us down or whether we'll use it as an opportunity to grow. The attitude you choose in the face of adversity is what separates those who thrive from those who falter. One of the most powerful habits you can cultivate is the habit of gratitude. Now, gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring the challenges you face. No, it's about recognizing the good even when things aren't going the way you'd like. It's about focusing on what you have rather than what you don't have. And when you practice gratitude, you start to shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and you start to embrace life with a sense of possibility rather than resignation. I remember a time in my own life when things seemed to be falling apart. I had just lost a business and I was feeling defeated. But I realized that I could either focus on the failure and let it consume me, or I could use it as a lesson. Instead of feeling sorry for myself, I made a conscious decision to change my attitude. I chose to be grateful for the lessons I'd learned, the people I'd met, and the experiences I'd gained, even through the hardship. And that shift in attitude transformed my outlook. It didn't make the challenges go away, but it gave me the strength to keep going, knowing that every setback was an opportunity for growth. Attitude is everything, my friends. It's the silent force that influences your actions and defines your success. It's not enough to just show up and go through the motions of life. You have to show up with the right attitude. A positive attitude isn't about being blindly optimistic or ignoring reality. It's about choosing to see the good in every situation, finding the lesson in every challenge, and taking responsibility for how you respond to life's ups and downs. Your attitude colors everything. It colors your relationships, your work, your health, and even your self-worth. If you're constantly focused on the negative, that's what you'll see everywhere you look. But if you focus on the positive, you'll start to see opportunities, solutions, and possibilities all around you. One of the most important things you can do is to train yourself to find the opportunity in every challenge. When life throws a curveball your way, don't throw your hands up and give up. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Every challenge, no matter how difficult, carries with it a hidden lesson. If you train yourself to look for it, you'll find it. And that lesson, no matter how small, will help you grow, evolve, and become better prepared for the next obstacle. There's a saying I love: the problem is not the problem is your attitude about the problem. This is the core of the matter. You can't always control the problems that arise in your life, but you can always control how you approach them. And that is what truly determines your success. It's your attitude that shapes your future, not the challenges you face. But here's the thing. Attitude isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop over time through practice. It's a habit you cultivate day in and day out. And it's a habit that can be changed no matter where you are in life. If you've been stuck in a negative mindset for years, don't worry. You have the power to change it. Start small. Each day, practice being grateful for what you have, even if it's something as simple as waking up in the morning. Practice looking for the lesson in every setback. And most importantly, practice staying positive even when life seems hard. Attitude also has a ripple effect. When you maintain a positive, optimistic attitude, it doesn't just impact you. It impacts everyone around you. People are drawn to positive energy. They want to be around people who lift them up, who see the bright side, who offer encouragement instead of complaint. Your attitude will inspire others to adopt a similar mindset, creating a cycle of positivity and growth that benefits everyone involved. It's contagious. And when you surround yourself with positive people, that energy will feed into your own attitude and keep you moving forward. Remember, life doesn't determine your success. Your attitude does. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you encounter, is just another chance for you to grow, learn, and become stronger. So train yourself to look for the good in every situation, to find the opportunities in every challenge, and to maintain an attitude of gratitude and optimism no matter what comes your way. Your life will change the moment you change your attitude. Number 6, improve your knowledge. If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that formal education might give you the basics, but self-education, that's the true key to success. You see, formal education can teach you how to make a living, but it's self-education that can teach you how to make a fortune. The difference between those who merely survive and those who thrive is the commitment to continuous learning. While most people stop learning after they graduate, the truly successful individuals know that learning never ends. It's an ongoing process, a daily habit that fuels growth and opens the door to endless possibilities. Think about it. The world is changing faster than ever. New technologies, new ideas, new ways of thinking are emerging all around us. If you want to stay ahead, you can't afford to stop learning. The moment you think you've learned it all is the moment you start falling behind. The truly successful individuals, those who achieve greatness in their careers, businesses, or lives, are the ones who dedicate themselves to learning something new every single day. They know that knowledge is the ultimate tool for creating opportunity. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't have time to read or study every day, but let me tell you, you don't need hours to make progress. 15 minutes a day is enough. 15 minutes of focused learning, whether it's reading a book, listening to an audio program, or watching an informative video, can compound over time. When you do this consistently, you're not just gaining knowledge, you're also building a mindset of growth. You're training your brain to seek out new ideas and new perspectives, and that, my friend, is how you unlock potential you didn't even know you had. Take a moment to think about the most successful people you admire. What do they have in common? Sure, they have talent and opportunity, but more than that, they have an insatiable hunger for knowledge. Whether it's a business leader, a world-class athlete, or an influential thinker, they all have one thing in common. They never stop learning. They understand that the more they know, the more they can accomplish. And that's the mindset that leads to success. Consider this. When you read a book, you're tapping into the wisdom of someone else's experiences, mistakes, and lessons. You're standing on the shoulders of giants, learning from those who have gone before you. The knowledge you gain doesn't just improve your ability to make decisions. It improves your ability to think critically, solve problems, and act with confidence. And when you take what you learn and apply it in your life, you begin to see the rewards. Knowledge, when applied properly, becomes power. I remember a time when I was building my business and I was struggling to find a way to break through. But I made a decision. I was going to read, study, and learn as much as I could. I devoured books on personal development, business strategy, and leadership. Each book I read opened up new ideas and new ways of thinking. The more I learned, the more my capacity to make better decisions grew. And that knowledge didn't just help me make more money, it helped me become a better person, a better leader, and a better communicator. Self-education doesn't just apply to business or career development. It applies to every aspect of your life. Want to improve your relationships? Start learning about human behavior, communication, and emotional intelligence. Want to get healthier? Learn about nutrition, exercise, and mindset. Want to become more disciplined? Study personal development and productivity strategies. The more you educate yourself, the more you realize that growth is not confined to one area of life. It's a holistic journey. And the best part is, the more you learn, the more confident and capable you become. I encourage you to invest in your own education. It's the most valuable asset you can have. And I don't mean investing in a formal degree or certification. I mean investing in yourself through books, courses, seminars, and even your own experiences. The best investment you can make is in your mind. The more you grow your knowledge, the more your capacity to win in every area of life expands. This knowledge gives you the tools to navigate challenges, make smarter decisions, and seize opportunities that others might overlook. The beauty of self-education is that it doesn't require a classroom or a teacher standing in front of you. It's all around you, in books, podcasts, documentaries, and even in the conversations you have with people. It's about creating a mindset where learning is a daily habit and you never stop seeking ways to improve. Think of your mind as a muscle. The more you feed it, the stronger it becomes. And just like physical muscles, the more you exercise your mind, the more powerful you become. Look at the greats who have come before us. People like Benjamin Franklin, who taught himself many disciplines. Or Thomas Edison, who relentlessly sought knowledge in pursuit of innovation. These individuals didn't rely solely on what they were taught in school. They sought knowledge from every corner of life. They understood that the key to success wasn't just about what you know, but about how much you're willing to learn. Now, I understand that life can be busy and time is always a precious commodity. But the key to long-term success is making education a priority. Don't allow yourself to get too busy with the day-to-day hustle that you neglect your own personal growth. 15 minutes a day might seem like a small investment, but over the course of a year, that adds up to hours of knowledge. Imagine the power of compounding that knowledge and applying it to your life. You don't need to dedicate hours upon hours. You just need to dedicate a few minutes each day to expanding your mind. If you're serious about your success, then you must take learning into your own hands. Whether it's reading, listening to podcasts, attending seminars, or engaging in deep conversations, make learning a priority. The more you learn, the more opportunities you'll see. The more knowledge you acquire, the more doors will open for you. And when you take that knowledge and apply it, you will start to see results. Knowledge isn't just power, it's the key to unlocking your potential and transforming your life. So make the commitment today. Invest in yourself. Learn something new every day and watch your life change as you grow into the person you were meant to be. Number 7, improve your emotional control. Emotions are an undeniable part of the human experience. They come, they go, and sometimes they catch us off guard. But here's the truth. While we can't always control the emotions we feel, we can absolutely control how we respond to them. High performers understand this principle better than anyone else. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They learn to master their emotions. And in doing so, they gain control over their outcomes. This is a skill that can be developed, and it starts with awareness and practice. When emotions rise, the natural instinct is often to react. Maybe you've been in a situation where someone says something hurtful or where things aren't going the way you hoped. The immediate impulse might be to lash out, to get angry, or to let frustration take over. But high performers don't operate from this knee-jerk reaction. Instead, they practice something more powerful. They pause, take a breath, and respond thoughtfully. It's this ability to pause before reacting that sets the great apart from the average. And here's the thing, the more you practice this, the more naturally it becomes. Think about it. How many times have you said something in the heat of the moment only to regret it later? How many times have you let your anger, frustration, or fear cause you to act impulsively, only to find that it made things worse? These are the moments that high performers learn to navigate with grace. They understand that emotional control is not about suppressing emotions, but about channeling them in a productive way. It's about responding, not reacting. A great example of this can be seen in the world of sports. Think of a basketball player facing a critical free throw in the final moments of a game. The pressure is immense, the crowd is loud, and the stakes are high. In those moments, it's easy for emotions to take over. But the high performer, the one who has mastered emotional control, doesn't let the pressure control them. Instead, they take a moment, breathe deeply, focus, and make their shot. It's emotional control. The ability to stay calm under pressure is a direct result of years of practice, discipline, and emotional awareness. You may not be a professional athlete, but the principle applies to every area of life, whether it's in business meetings, relationships, or challenging situations. Mastering your emotions is crucial. The ability to stay calm when everything around you seems chaotic is a game changer. It allows you to think clearly, make better decisions, and act with purpose instead of being swept up in the emotional tide. When you don't let your emotions control you, you gain the freedom to take control of the situation. The key here is practice. Just like any skill, emotional control takes time to develop. It's about training your mind to respond rather than react. The next time you feel anger bubbling up or frustration rising, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what do I want the outcome to be? This simple pause is powerful. It gives you the space to make a more intentional, thoughtful choice rather than letting the emotions decide for you. This concept also applies to how we channel our emotions into action. For example, if you're frustrated about something, whether it's a setback in your business, a conflict in your relationships, or a personal challenge, don't let that frustration turn into negativity. Instead, use that energy. Channel it into action, use it as fuel to solve the problem, improve your situation, or push yourself harder to succeed. Frustration can be a great motivator if you learn how to turn it into productive energy rather than allowing it to derail you. High performers take every emotion, positive or negative, and use it as momentum to propel themselves forward. In my own journey, there have been times when I felt overwhelmed with stress, doubt, or even anger. But I learned early on that letting those emotions control me only led to poor decisions and regret. Over time, I developed a routine of pausing before reacting. I would step back, take a deep breath, and focus on what I could control in the moment. This wasn't easy at first, but with practice, it became second nature. And let me tell you, it changed the way I approached every situation. Whether it was dealing with difficult people, handling a tough business decision, or facing an obstacle, my ability to control my emotions gave me the clarity and confidence I needed to act effectively. If you want to master your emotions, the first step is to become aware of them. Pay attention to how you feel in different situations. Are you quick to anger? Do you get easily frustrated? Are you prone to negative self-talk when things don't go your way? Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward change. Once you understand your emotional triggers, you can start to reframe them and choose how to respond. Remember, you are not your emotions. You are the person who gets to decide how to handle them. A powerful practice to help you improve emotional control is mindfulness. By incorporating mindfulness techniques into your daily routine, such as meditation or simply taking a moment to breathe deeply and center yourself, you can train your mind to stay calm in the face of challenges. The more you practice mindfulness, the better you'll become at handling stressful situations with grace and composure. It's a simple yet incredibly effective tool for developing emotional mastery. Another practical example of emotional control can be found in how we communicate with others. Often in heated moments, we can say things that we don't mean, or we can allow our emotions to cloud our judgment. High performers, however, know how to pause before speaking. They understand that what they say in moments of frustration or anger can have lasting consequences. By taking a deep breath and carefully choosing their words, they ensure that their communication is thoughtful and effective rather than reactive and hurtful. Ultimately, mastering your emotions comes down to taking responsibility. It's about recognizing that no one else can control your emotions but you. No matter what happens in your external world, you have the power to choose how you respond. When you make that choice consciously, you put yourself in control of your results. Emotional control isn't about suppressing or ignoring feelings. It's about channeling them in a way that serves your highest purpose. Master your emotions, and you will master your life. Number 8, improve your relationships. Your relationships are one of the most powerful influences on your life, and if you're not intentional about them, they can either lift you up or bring you down. The people you surround yourself with have an undeniable impact on how you think, how you feel, and ultimately, how successful you become. That's why it's critical to examine your circle and ask yourself, are the people around me elevating me? Are they helping me become better, sharper, and more focused on my goals, or are they draining my energy and slowing my progress? It's a simple truth. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a moment. The people closest to you shape your mindset, your habits, and your outlook on life. If you're spending time with people who are negative, who don't push you to grow, who are comfortable with mediocrity, then you're likely going to find yourself slipping into those same patterns. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who challenge you, who inspire you, who help you see bigger possibilities, you start to elevate yourself. You start thinking bigger, acting with more confidence, and striving for more than you ever thought possible. Let me tell you, one of the most important decisions you make in your life is who you choose to spend your time with. This doesn't mean you should abandon friends or family, but it does mean being more deliberate about where you invest your time and energy. If you want to go higher in life, you need to surround yourself with people who are already living at that higher level. Seek out mentors, individuals who have already achieved what you're aiming for. Listen to their advice, observe their habits, learn from their experience. When you do this, you're not just improving your relationships, you're improving yourself by tapping into the wisdom and energy of those who have already walked the path you want to walk. In my life, I've always been intentional about the people I associate with. Early on, I learned that success is contagious. The more I surrounded myself with people who were focused, disciplined, and committed to personal growth, the more I became like them. I remember when I first started in the business world, I made it a point to attend seminars, read books, and find mentors who were already successful. I'd often find myself sitting in a room full of high achievers, absorbing their energy and soaking in their wisdom. The conversations I had with those people helped shape my mindset, my habits, and my future. They helped me see that I could achieve things I once thought were beyond my reach. Now, this doesn't mean you should only spend time with people who are successful by societal standards. Success isn't just about money or fame. It's about the qualities that person embodies. Integrity, kindness, perseverance, wisdom, and the drive to continually improve. The people who elevate you are those who have these qualities. People who bring out the best in you. They encourage you to be your best self, not just in your career, but in every area of life. You want people around you who will challenge your thinking, hold you accountable, and remind you of your own potential when you start doubting yourself. But be mindful, because not all relationships are built the same. Some relationships will give you energy while others will drain it. Some will inspire you to take action while others will keep you stuck in complacency. And here's the hard truth. Some people will not only hold you back, they will actively undermine your progress. It's not always easy to identify these people, but you have to pay attention to the dynamics. If you find yourself constantly giving but never receiving, or if the people around you are always focused on complaining or talking about what's wrong with the world, that's a red flag. These kinds of relationships will not help you grow. In fact, they'll often keep you stuck in negative patterns and thoughts. That's why it's so important to be deliberate in how you choose to spend your time. Look at your relationships closely. Which ones are adding value to your life and which ones are taking it away? This is a question you have to ask yourself regularly. If you're serious about your growth and success, you need to be willing to make tough decisions. Sometimes that means distancing yourself from relationships that no longer serve your growth. This is not easy. It's often uncomfortable. But the longer you stay in relationships that don't elevate you, the longer you delay your own progress. I've seen people who've spent years in unhealthy relationships, whether with friends, family, or colleagues, simply because they felt obligated. They were afraid of the consequences of making a change. But I can tell you that the greatest growth happens when you're willing to make bold decisions about who you allow in your life. Don't be afraid to let go of people who aren't supporting your journey. Surround yourself with those who believe in your potential, who will encourage you when you're feeling down, and who will inspire you to do more than you ever thought possible. Think of it this way. Relationships are like the fuel that powers your vehicle. If the fuel is high quality, the vehicle runs smoothly and you can go the distance. If the fuel is poor or quality, the engine will sputter and you'll find yourself stuck on the side of the road. The same goes for your relationships. If you're spending your time with people who are constantly dragging you down, your progress will slow to a halt. But if you surround yourself with people who are focused on growth, you'll move forward with momentum and you'll go farther than you ever thought possible. So, what can you do to improve your relationship starting today? First, evaluate the people you spend the most time with. Are they lifting you up? Are they helping you become a better version of yourself? If the answer is no, it's time to make a change. Start seeking out relationships with those who share your values, who push you to be your best, and who will help you grow. Take it upon yourself to be intentional about who you let into your life. The best part about this is that the more you invest in building relationships that elevate you, the more you'll have to offer in return. As you grow and develop, you'll become a beacon for others who are also on a path of growth. It becomes a cycle of mutual elevation, everyone lifting each other up, creating an environment where success is not just possible, but inevitable. Remember this, relationships either elevate or drain. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with those who help you become the person you are meant to be. When you do, you'll find that the people you spend your time with will shape your future in ways you could never imagine. Number 9, improve your connection with your purpose. The first step toward success is knowing why you're on the journey in the first place. Without a clear purpose, without a strong sense of why, every challenge will feel like an obstacle too great to overcome. When life gets hard, and it will, your why will be the fuel that keeps you moving forward. And if you don't have a clear purpose, you'll find it easy to quit when things get tough. But if you're clear about your why, the journey becomes meaningful, even when it's difficult. It becomes easier to bear the burdens and face the challenges because you know there's something much greater at the end of this road. Let's be honest. Life can be tough. It can be full of setbacks, disappointments, and even failures. If you don't have a reason bigger than just getting through the day, you'll find yourself caught in the trap of mediocrity. But when your why is crystal clear, when you can see the vision of what you're working toward, those struggles suddenly don't seem so hard to endure. You find strength in the challenge. You realize that the price you're paying today is just a small part of the much bigger picture you're creating for yourself and for those you love. This is what I mean when I say, when the promise is clear, the price is easy. Take a moment and think about your why. What is driving you? What's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning and pushes you through the tough days? It could be the dream of providing a better life for your family, the desire for financial freedom, or the hope of leaving a legacy that outlasts you. It might even be a deep passion for helping others or making a difference in the world. Whatever it is, You have to keep coming back to that why every single day. It's the compass that will guide you when things feel uncertain. Let me share a bit from my own experience. When I was just starting out, I had many days where I didn't know if I would succeed. There were times when the setbacks felt overwhelming, and it was easy to question whether I was on the right path. But during those moments of doubt, I would think about my why. I thought about my family and the life I wanted to create for them. I thought about the impact I wanted to have on people's lives. That thought became my anchor. It wasn't just about me anymore. It was about creating something bigger than myself. That gave me the strength to keep going. It gave me the courage to push through even when the road ahead seemed uncertain. Your why is the bedrock of your resilience. It's the reason you'll keep going when others give up. You see, everyone faces challenges, but not everyone handles them the same way. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often simply the strength of their why. When your purpose is strong, it will carry you through the hard times. It will help you endure when others can't. It gives your efforts meaning and your pain a purpose. In your pursuit of success, you'll face moments where you'll want to throw in the towel. You'll wonder if it's worth it. But that's when your why comes into play. When you're clear on your purpose, you can look at the struggles and see them as part of the process, not as roadblocks. You begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth. When you have a strong why, you'll look at your setbacks as stepping stones towards something greater. You'll begin to appreciate the effort and sacrifice because you understand that they're part of the price you have to pay for the life you're creating. One of the most important things I've learned is that purpose gives direction to your efforts. Without purpose, your energy can be scattered. You can easily become distracted by the day-to-day grind or the noise of the world. But when you're clear about your why, everything changes. You become laser focused. You start to prioritize your time, your energy, and your resources toward the things that align with your purpose. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You stop getting sidetracked by distractions and begin pouring your efforts into what truly matters. Your why is the ultimate motivator. It helps you prioritize what's important and eliminates what's irrelevant. It fuels your commitment to keep going even when it's hard. But it also makes your efforts more fulfilling. When you know why you're doing something, the work itself takes on a new meaning. It becomes more than just tasks or obligations. It becomes part of a greater mission, a mission that is uniquely yours. It's essential then that you keep your purpose at the forefront of your mind. Every day, remind yourself of your why. Reignite it. Reconnect with it. Write it down if you have to. Speak it out loud. Keep it in your thoughts as you make decisions. Your purpose should be the lens through which you see everything. When the why is clear, the how becomes much easier. You don't have to wonder if you should keep going or not because you know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. So don't just work for the sake of working. You don't just go through the motions of life. Take the time to define your purpose and then make it the driving force behind everything you do. When your why is strong enough, the journey will feel less like a sacrifice and more like a mission. You'll see the purpose behind every effort, and you'll gain the strength to endure what others can't. Purpose will give you the clarity to stay focused and the resilience to keep moving forward, even in the face of adversity. When your purpose is clear, nothing can stop you. The price won't seem so high and the challenges won't feel so tough. The promise ahead will make every ounce of effort worth it. And that, my friend, is the power of having a strong, unwavering connection to your purpose. So find your why, hold on to it, and let it lead you to the success and fulfillment you're meant for. And number 10, improve your execution. Success is not some magical thing that happens to a lucky few. It is the result of consistent, focused action. It's not about having the best idea. It's about doing what others won't do. Ideas, dreams, and plans are all great, but they are nothing without execution. You can have the most brilliant concept in the world, but if you don't take action, it remains just that, an idea. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the willingness to take consistent action day in and day out, regardless of how you feel or the challenges you face. I remember early in my career, I had all the plans and strategies mapped out, I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve, but there were times when I was waiting for the right moment or waiting for the stars to align perfectly before I took that first step. Let me tell you this, there is never a perfect time. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment to act, you will never act. The perfect moment is always now. And that's something you have to accept. Waiting for ideal conditions is a trap, a delay tactic. The only thing that will move you forward is action. Think about the nature of success. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. In the beginning, it's small, and it takes time to build momentum. But if you keep pushing that snowball every day, it starts to grow. The more you roll it, the faster and bigger it becomes. This is what execution does. It creates momentum. Every small step you take toward your goal, no matter how insignificant it might seem in the moment, is a piece of the bigger picture. Over time, those small actions compound, and that's when you see real progress. The trick is to be consistent. Success is the result of doing the right things every day, even when it's hard. We all know the feeling of getting discouraged or frustrated when we don't see immediate results, but real progress doesn't happen overnight. It's the cumulative effect of daily actions. If you focus on executing your plan consistently, success will inevitably follow. But if you wait for things to be perfect or expect instant results, you'll be left standing still. Now, let's be clear. Execution doesn't mean doing things aimlessly. It means doing the right things with purpose and focus. It's about prioritizing what matters most and sticking to it even when distractions pull you in different directions. Many people have grand plans, but they never get off the ground because they get bogged down in distractions or uncertainty. They overthink, they wait for inspiration. But the key to execution is simple. You just need to show up and do the work. I've seen people who had great potential, but lacked the discipline to take consistent action. They were great planners, but their ideas never came to fruition because they couldn't follow through. And then I've seen others who weren't as talented or as gifted, but became wildly successful because they mastered the art of execution. They understood that success isn't about having the perfect idea. It's about getting to work and doing it, even when it feels like the conditions aren't ideal. One of the hardest things to overcome in execution is procrastination. We all know how it feels to put things off, to tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes, does it? It's always easy to come up with reasons to wait or reasons why we can't start today, but procrastination is the enemy of progress. If you want to succeed, you have to tackle this head on. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. You just need to start. And once you start, keep going. Make it a daily habit. Execution is about taking that first step, then the next, and the next, until you're moving toward your goal every single day. Let's say you have a goal of building a successful business, for example. You could spend days, weeks, or even months reading and planning, but if you never actually start taking the steps to build that business, all that planning is useless. It's the same with anything in life. Whether you're working on your health, your finances, or your relationships, execution is what makes all the difference. Small, consistent steps every day add up over time. The key to mastering execution is to break your goals down into smaller, manageable tasks. It's easy to get overwhelmed when you look at a big goal. But when you break it down into smaller pieces and focus on completing one thing at a time, it becomes much more achievable. Think of it this way. If you want to run a marathon, you don't just wake up one day and run 26 miles. You start by running a mile, then 2, and you build up gradually. The same applies to any goal. Break it down into small, daily actions and focus on doing those consistently. Over time, those small actions will add up and you'll start to see progress. You'll begin to build momentum, and that momentum will carry you forward. But the key is to never stop. Execution is not a one-time thing, it's a daily commitment. The magic happens in the consistency, not the intensity. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing something every day to move closer to your goal. Let's put it this way. Success isn't about hitting a grand slam every time. It's about getting on base every day. It's about showing up, doing the work, and letting time and consistency do their magic. The more you execute, the more you'll learn, and the better you'll become at what you do. Eventually, those small, consistent actions will compound and success will follow. Execution is the difference between dreaming and achieving. It's a difference between having a good idea and turning it into something real. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop looking for the right conditions. Take action today, and tomorrow take action again. Keep executing, keep building. And over time, success will be your natural consequence.